You delusional, beautiful motherfucker.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
no way they that division.
Hit it.
Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. This is our divisional review episode. We're starting with the AL West. Chris, are you excited about this?
AL West specifically, yes. No, I'm excited for the whole damn thing.
Absolutely.
We got some pretty good episodes coming your way. So everybody lock in now. Keep coming throughout the week. And we got more coming next week.
It's going to be great. And just wanted to start at the top and say thank you so much to everyone that submitted to us. I mean, we're talking friends of ours, coworkers, all the way up to podcasters we look up to. It's been a whirlwind trying to get all these folks together, and it's been really amazing that we were able to be successful for most of them.
We got most, not all, especially in the AL. This came from like an idea, right? Like another one of those car rides.
Exactly.
If anybody was around for episode 1 from the very beginning, but another car ride, and it was like, what if we can make this work? I was like, well, give it hell.
Absolutely.
And a lot of Twitter messages and text messages.
You
later.
did work, brother. You did work. You were harassing people, and they came
if
through for
you
us.
got a message from the Coach's Sons pod on Twitter, it was me. You were talking to Chris. So sorry to everybody who had to deal
Not
with that.
sorry.
But thank you to everyone that submitted. And I want to get on maybe a pedestal here for a moment. And I just want to say, again, as Andrew stated, thank you to everybody that submitted, but to everybody that's listening. And we really do hope that this brings a lot of new listeners that continue to stay with us. But everybody that submitted, really put themselves out there. They didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do this. And again, there are some podcasters who can handle some banter, things like that. But please, by no means, come after anybody about their opinions or their expectations, right? These are fans first. We're all fans here, and we just want to have fun.
Absolutely.
And, maybe a little playful banter here and there. That never hurt anybody, but I just don't want to see anything malicious from anybody's opinion. Even if somebody from the A's thinks they're going to win the division, that's fine. We don't come after them for it, and we just keep moving on. Let's all have fun together.
I think that's
here.
a great point, Chris. I mean, end all be all is we just want to have the fan perspective. We don't want to be an echo chamber, and everyone's really excited right now, so we want to hear that excitement. Whether we might think in our minds, that's not going to happen, but who cares? We know we're delusional. We're fans. That's what happens at the beginning of the year, and I think that's why these episodes are going to be a lot of fun.
I think so too, and we're going to listen to each recording that we received first. So just kind of a quick structure of how this might look. Excuse me. And we're going to pick a team. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here. I've got a list randomizer. So instead of kind of going like, who we think's worst, who we think's first, and we also have different opinions on all of that.
We do.
So there really wasn't a middle ground. So I've got a little list random organizer thing here. We're just going to run it 5 times and just go in order of what that tells me to do.
Let's do it.
So I'm perfectly good with that. I did lose my train of thought, and I have no idea what I was saying.
All right, so
this.
we were breaking down how this was going to look. So each episode, we're going to listen. We're going to see which team we're going to talk about first through a randomizer that Chris has found. After that, we'll listen to a clip. We'll react. We'll talk about kind of what we think they got right, what we think may not be as correct, just like opinions there. And then we'll go into their over under, what we think about that. We're going to talk about players that we think could be breakouts or regression candidates, and then we decided to do like a fun player prop from each team, and that'll be how we go down the whole list. So, you ready, Chris?
Let's do the damn thing.
All right. So let's hit that randomizer.
Right,
we need some kind of like weird sound effect.
Yeah, you could play with that.
Post op.
I've got. I'm going to hit randomize 5 times. So we've got 1.
Yep.
2.
I'm getting so nervous.
3.
Yep.
4.
Okay.
5.
This is
Who
great
do you want to
podcasting.
be first?
I want the Mariners to be first because
They're
that's
not.
hilarious.
It's the Los Angeles Angels.
Okay, Los Angeles Angels. So we are going to listen to a clip real quick, and then we will react to it.
And this clip was sent from Swilly. Her @ is Swilly Sports. She is representing Los Angeles Angels.
Let's go.
Hey guys, it's Swilly. Here are my thoughts and predictions for the Angels in 2024. Although things may seem a little bit grim in Anaheim, I do believe that there is reason to be positive and excited about the Angels this upcoming season. With Ron Washington coaching and managing this group going into the upcoming season, I do think that there is reason to be excited. Ron Washington is absolutely fantastic at squeezing all of the talent out of all of the guys on his squad, and we have a lot of young guys, so I think because of the culture that he brings to a group, we can see big strides made for guys like Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe, and Nolan Schanuel, who are all under the age of 24. Ron Washington has already made an impact on the franchise in spring training. The Angels, as of March 6th, have swiped the most bags in Major League Baseball, and we've seen a lower ERA per 9 and a lower walks per 9. Now that the Shohei Ohtani news is finally over and done with, I do think that there is a lot of pressure that is not existent with this team anymore, and I think that'll be good for the young guys and also for Mike Trout. If we can get Mike Trout to have a healthy season, that would just make me the happiest baseball fan on the face of the planet. Speaking of staying healthy, if Anthony Rendon can give me like 80 games, or 90 maybe, that would be fantastic. I don't even need like a 900 OPS, just give me games. If I had to make some sort of record prediction, I do think that the Halos can win around 72 or 73 games in 2024. However, I do think because this group is so young, the ceiling is quite high, so maybe somewhere in the mid to high 70 range, but we are in a little bit of a tougher division this year. Even though the media wants you to hate the Angels, there is reason to be excited and to be positive going into this upcoming season.
Dude, holy crap.
Yeah. All right.
Knocked it out of the park,
Swilly came to play. That was huge. That was a great first.
Listen, here's the deal.
go.
I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of great expectations for the Angels, but but again, I don't know enough. And that's why it's so good to hear from other fans. I'm like, I'm jacked for the Angels now.
So here, I should have said this in the intro portion, but this is where I'm coming from with all this.
Yeah.
I have my opinions, right?
Yeah.
And some teams I have, some unders, some overs, this guy, that guy, the other thing. I want you to sway me. Like, I want to be excited about your team.
This, yeah.
And quite frankly, you're going to hear about it when I tell you about all my specific things I've got for the Angels, but I might have just gotten swayed.
Yeah, so there's some things in there that I didn't even think about. So let's talk about it. Right. So Washington is, I cannot tell you how much that hurt when we lost him. He was such a big deal for Ozzie. He was such a big deal for Ronnie. Like he is a great coach. And the fact that they're already stealing all these bases, I love that. It definitely translates to what the Braves were doing over to the Angels, and that's a huge point. I'm glad you pointed it out.
Let me ask you this question, because the answer for me is no immediately.
Okay.
If she didn't submit that and talk about Ron Washington, were you ever going to talk about Ron Washington in this?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah,
never.
And I should have, because I love Ron Washington.
Correct. No, and yeah, you're a big one. But it's like that.
He was such a big part of our team. Man,
so it is crazy. Like, this is the first one we listened to, and again, this isn't to poo-poo on anybody else that we're going to listen to after that. This is like almost a picturesque thing of what we're looking for in terms of fandom, right? Yes, Ron Washington's a big deal, and yes, I care, but quite frankly, I don't care that Ron Washington's manager of the Angels. But guess what? She used him to prove that some of these young guys might be able to step up better than they would have otherwise.
Yeah, completely
So
agree.
again, more shout out to Swilly there. What a great review. You may have swayed me, but you conveniently left out the rotation is not good. I can't get behind. I can get behind all of the hitters you talked about, right? I could get behind Neto. I could get behind O'Hoppe. That Schanuel guy came right up through the system last year. You clearly Mike Trout. You've got some hitters.
Yeah,
and sure, but that rotation, like Patrick Sandoval.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think pitching is going to be their biggest issue, which Ron doesn't touch at all, right? They didn't hire Ron Washington to fix their pitching staff, but I think a couple things she said that made a lot of sense was the less pressure, right? That makes a ton of sense, right? And if those young guys can step up and it's not all on Trout, then he can have another MVP-like season. I feel like when he's having to carry, he just hasn't performed as well. So that makes a lot of sense. So I think she had great points.
It was worth it, right? Like I have written, I don't know, not much to be excited for.
Right.
And it was like, okay, like Nito, yes, sure. Shonel, yes. Agree. Again, those particular guys she named. And yes, I'm poo-pooing the pitching staff here a little bit.
Rendon too. I mean, Rendon can go kick rocks because of his attitude towards baseball.
I like that
opinion.
perspective of Rendon though, of like, we don't really, it's whatever, right? Like he says what he says.
Yeah, he is what he is. Just give us something.
He give you something, right? Like just play, be a body. Because he's better than whatever replacement level, like he's going to be a positive WAR guy if he plays.
When he does. Yeah.
Is it 1? Maybe
1.5.
But you get my point. Like,
I agree.
So just give me a body, be somewhat healthy. What she has for 80 games? Like, that's nothing, right? Like,
you should be
just
able
play
to do
half
that.
Take every other day off. Dude. Just give me something.
All right.
I really like it. I think it's.
But here's the deal. In the end, she's right. It's a tough division. So let's go down our board. Where do you think they finish, Chris?
In the AL West, the Angels are finishing 4th.
Yeah, I have 4th as well. Yeah, I just don't see them overcoming those other teams. Okay, so she mentioned she thinks
she was right on.
She was right on. She says they might be able to get upper 70s. And I think this is where we disagree. I do think that they can get 73, 74. So I have them on the over, which, by the way, is set at 72.5. And I think you have them under.
I have them under 72.5. So these lines are all from DraftKings.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Hashtag DK partner. No, we are not a DraftKings partner, but we're going to tag them like we are.
Hashtag please love us.
But so all these lines are from there. We took them at our own respective. I may have done this a few days ago. I think Andrew did a couple today. So they're going to be within reason in terms of lines. Don't kill us for anything like that. But the line we have is 72.5. I am under.
I'm over.
Andrew's over.
But we still have them at 4th still.
Yeah,
both of us.
I mean the separation in over unders is pretty significant between them and the rest of the pack who we're going to talk about here in a second.
Yep.
Who's your breakout player?
Mine's their catcher, O'Hop.
Okay.
So here's the deal. And again, this is going to go back to what you said about the pitching staff, right? If he can help call good games, that's going to be tremendous, right? So for the Angels to win 74 games, he has to be solid and he has to take that step up. He's a great backstop. Apparently pitchers love playing with him. If he can take that next step, on the offensive side, that's a huge help to the team as a whole. So that's my breakout player for the Angels this year.
I like that, and I'm taking a page out of Swilly's book. I went Zach Nito.
Yeah, okay.
And
I looked at Nito too. He was my second choice.
I really like him. He came up. He played about 84 games last year. B-WAR of about 1.6. So solid, in that 84 games. So he could be a 3-win player. Is that, that's not Francisco Lindor,
right?
But that's solid for a team that's going to, on all accounts projected to be 4th in the division. You have a 22, 23-year-old guy who's going to be, front and center. He's going to have every opportunity to succeed. Where he hits in the order, I don't know. I don't know exactly where it looks like. He might lead off. You got Trout hitting behind. He could have a big year, and that's my pick. And some of I'm going to preface this. Some of my picks, I feel like I may be a year late on. They might have already broken out, but it's like, you know what? I still like that guy.
Yeah.
Right. Like last year, Zach Nito would have been a breakout pick, but he's still mine. I still think he could get better. He could improve, get some more games under his belt, and see where they go.
Completely agree. All right, so player props, Chris. What's your unique player prop for the Angels this year?
You know how I feel about stars and how I just want to watch the best play at all times. How are you going to follow a prop of the Los Angeles Angels and not have something on Mike Trout?
Yeah, I completely agree.
So I'm over 30.5 home runs. And it just comes down to health. Yeah. Right.
If he's healthy, he's hitting that easy.
Let's go to your
so
prop.
I'll piggyback off of yours, Chris. Mine is also a Mike Trout player prop, but my player prop is that this year he will hit his 400th home run.
I'm glad I didn't say anything because I almost stole your thunder.
Yeah, so that's definitely what I'm doing. That's just so you guys know, that's like plus 105. So it's not a big leap for that to happen. He does have to hit upper 30s, but if he's healthy, he will do it.
So he's at 368 right now. So
Yes,
he needs
right.
32.
32.
So what I did was I was like, you know what? If he hits 31, I'm not going to lose the 400 bet.
Right.
So he's going to get 400.
You took the safer bet,
he's
essentially.
Gonna give him the Aaron Judge juice baseballs, let this man hit 400, and then get him the hell out of this city.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well,
yeah, so
get him out of the city. We don't want him out of the Dodgers either.
Sorry, Swilly. All right, awesome. Well, that was fun.
So that was a good start.
That's a great start.
If we could get them all like this, I'm pretty excited.
I'm pumped. All right, Chris. So randomizer.
I was almost like, who's next? But
Yeah,
that's on me.
that's on you.
Randomizer. We are on the Texas Rangers. Defending World Series champ.
My goodness, the slugging team. Here we go.
And this Rangers submission comes from @SmileandKyle on Instagram.
Hey, this is Kyle down in Arlington, Texas, repping the world champion Texas Rangers. Man, I am so excited to finally come back to baseball. It had been a long 50 years without winning, and now that we're champs, it almost feels surreal. But looking ahead to 2024, I think our offense is going to be really good with Corey. Hopefully he's okay with the injury. He should be ready by opening day. Him and Marcus atop the lineup. Wyatt Langford supposedly coming up. He can drill the ball. Hopefully a full season of him and Evan Carter roaming the outfield together. I think it's going to be a good year. The offense should be great. Pitching remains to be seen. We'll see if Montgomery comes back as a free agent, but we'll have some reinforcements coming in July with Scherzer and DeGrom, and hopefully some guys who rise up to the minor leagues. But overall, I'm expecting we'll probably finish second in the division, maybe a couple games less than we had last year. So I'm predicting 88 and 74. We sneak into the wild card, and just like last year, who knows what kind of magic will happen once we get into October. Go Rangers.
Man, I'll tell you what, that's a very realistic viewpoint because, it's very easy to come up as someone who recently won the World Series. Yeah, I thought we were going to win every single one after that and was like, we're the best team ever. No one's going to stop us. And he was a realist about it. And I really appreciate that. I agree with a lot of the points he said. Obviously, that lineup's going to be bangers, man. All the time. That lineup is dangerous. And that's going to get them to the playoffs. I completely agree with that. The pitching thing is just such a huge question mark. If Montgomery does go back to the Rangers, that's going to be a huge addition that will probably make me way more positive on the Rangers. But if that doesn't happen, then they might struggle to get to high 80 wins. If I'm being honest. But we saw it last year. They were the worst team in baseball at one point. You know what I mean? And then they surged.
They weren't the worst, but yeah, they were bad.
They were real bad. Didn't they lose? I don't know. Anyways, go ahead. That's my reaction. Like I said, thank you so much. That was a great submission. I think I'm on board with everything he said.
This team is very lineup heavy, but at the same time, your 8 hitter is Jonah Heim. That's your catcher, and you're fine. That's your 8 guy. He's an all-star.
Yeah, the whole team, man. Those bats are awesome. They're so good.
I'm gonna try and find it really quick while I'm talking. This is gonna be terrible.
Okay, this is bad podcasting.
No. I'm still talking, and that's why it's gonna get bad. But I completely agree in the pitching front. Right? He said it. You said it. We've got all these older guys, right? Scherzer and DeGrom maybe coming back.
Yeah.
Halfway through the year, and if so, then everything's fine, right? Because that's no matter what their record is, no matter what their record is around midseason, it is around the All-Star break. It's going to be like we have in-house guys coming, we've got guys coming. So whether they're at top of the division, we're only going to get better, or it's we're middle of the road, but wait till we get these guys back. So
it's hard not to be optimistic.
Yeah. You're getting Jacob DeGrom back, and I know he's probably a shell of himself. And Scherzer's a maniac, so I wouldn't write him off ever. Right? That guy's probably pitching right now, even though his arm's about to fall off or whatever the hell is hurt with him. The other thing is, I think the bullpen isn't again, I know we're getting real deep on with saying that, and I don't want to get too crazy on bullpens because I couldn't even
have a solid closer. Isn't Clace over there? Oh no, he's with Cleveland. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Who's their closer? I don't even know.
Leclerc.
Okay,
Jose
you're right.
Leclerc.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
But they lost Chapman. They lost Will Smith. They did get David Robertson, who's solid.
Yeah, he's
so
solid.
again, I'm not going to go down the list of their
Yeah.
entire bullpen because I can't do that even with my favorite team. So I think that's not the best spot because I remember in the postseason it's like, oh no, the bullpen, like here we go, like let's see what happens. And Nathan Eovaldi, great, but he knows that he just turns it on for the postseason, so you got to get him there. John Gray, just an average guy. I'm fine with him, but you're going to ask him to throw 32 starts and be our number 2 for most of the year.
Especially if Montgomery doesn't.
Yeah, like so much. We're putting Jordan Montgomery just there.
Yeah, we are. No, 1,000%.
So,
he may not even
but
go
if
there.
we don't, like you're looking at Eovaldi, Gray, Dane Dunning, Andrew Haney.
That's rough. That's
for
really
let's say
rough.
half the year.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
All right, so Chris, where do you have the Rangers finishing in the division?
I have the Texas Rangers finishing 3rd.
Ooh, 3rd. All right, so I agree. With him, I have them finishing 2nd in the division.
I don't like that.
So over under, it's 89.5. Chris, we both took the under.
I'm under. And
Yeah, I agree.
I think he was right in what he was saying. He was right around the number 2, right?
He was, yeah.
So I think everybody else is cheating and using the over-unders as well to form their viewpoint. But, even if they get, 87 wins isn't a terrible season.
No.
But I just don't think they get to 89.
Yeah, I think they get
got under
85, and
89.
they need to get to 85 to sneak into the playoffs. So it just really depends on how the season starts. For them.
Wait. Before we stick to our guns on the under, I know we just ripped apart the pitching. Let me read the lineup to you, just top to bottom.
This is okay.
Marcus Semien 1.
Okay.
Corey Seager 2.
Smash.
Adolis Garcia 3.
Smash.
Evan Carter 4.
Smash.
Josh Young 5.
Smash.
Nate Lowe, first baseman 6. Your first baseman's your 6th
bad.
hitter. 7 Jonah Heim. 8 Wyatt Langford.
Oh, smash.
And 9 is Leody Tavares. Okay, he's your 9 hitter. That, and again, that might not be the exact thing. I was just reading it at Roto Champ.
Yeah,
is
it's
where I'm
potential.
at.
Right.
But they're going to score runs, and that's what they did last year.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Eovaldi, John Gray are going to have an over 4 ERA, but we're going to score 6 runs a game. Figure it the hell out.
I mean, you're going to have to race the Rangers if you're going to play them.
But that's what they did so often.
I agree.
You're not going to walk in here and shut this team down.
No. And their pitching doesn't have to be great, but still, they're going to lose games when the bats go quiet. And the bats can't be hot all 162 games. It just doesn't happen. So, okay. So we both have them on the under. Who is your breakout regression? I'll start because you started last time. I have Mr. Langford. I have Wyatt Langford. I think he is. I mean, obviously we have Carter, but Carter already kind of had his breakout last year. I mean, it was half the season, but still, that was his coming out party. And to me, I think he'll continue that. But Langford's going to benefit because everyone's going to be focusing on him, and he's going to be able to have a dynamite season too. I mean, he's protected by so many other great bats. I just feel like he has potential to really have a hell of a season, and that's who I have at the top.
Everybody's high on that
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, kid looks good. Dude.
It'll be seen as like a colossal flop if he actually doesn't produce. It feels
I agree. Yeah,
And that's
not
a lot
colossal flop, but it definitely will be a big disappointment.
I mean, they're trying to get him up now. Like, I don't know if he's going to break camp. He should. I think fans will get mad. I didn't pick him just because of that reason, right? Everybody is. But to your point, or to my point earlier, even, a guy that I'm probably a year late on, but I still like and he can get better is Evan Carter, right?
Can he still win Rookie of the Year too this year? Because he didn't play enough games last year.
I know what you're talking about.
So I mean, they're both Rookie of the Year candidates. So I think that's a great choice. I looked at Carter too because
he's a Rookie of the Year gamble, or you can put it on DraftKings. Okay, then he's technically a rookie. A full season of the guy. I mean, he mashed 2 home runs the other day. It's spring training, whatever. Yeah. But their lineup's loaded.
It's
like
so
him, Langford, Garcia are their outfield.
It's so good. Okay. Player prop. I went bombs. I think Seager goes above 29.5. I think he does. I think he's easily in the 30s. So that's what I have.
He scared me because of he's kind of banged up, and I didn't know if he was going to start the year. Man, that guy, he doesn't have the best shortstop in baseball.
He doesn't have to start the season to hit 30 plus home runs for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, hey, that's what I'm taking.
That's your pick. That's fine. And what I picked is kind of a cheeky one. It's not my favorite in the world.
It's a cheeky one.
But I picked John Gray over 8.5 wins. And here's why.
That's really boring, Chris.
No, it's not.
Wins is a terrible pitching stat.
I don't disagree with that. However, he had 9 last year. He had 7 in 22 and 8 in 21.
8.5 wins.
8.5 wins, right? What? If he gets 30 starts and with this lineup behind him,
that's fair.
We might hit this by mid-August.
That's not. I mean, okay, that's fair. That it's just 8.5 is such a little number.
This is less about John Gray and more about my faith in the lineup without having to just pick one guy from lineup.
That's fair. Okay, I get that. I mean, Seager was the obvious pick. I think everyone's gonna go that.
If I had to rank my favorite bets from, we'll just go with this division of what I just had. He's definitely number 5. That's why I said it was cheeky. Okay. Right? You could take Adolis, you could take Simeon, Seager, all that. No, we're on John Gray.
No, you came out of the left field with that. I love it, Chris.
The bullpen, technically.
Let's go. Okay. Oh, my bad. All right, so that's 2 down. Who we have next?
My Seattle Mariners.
Oh, we're going to have a long Mariners minute, guys. Okay.
For the Mariners, we've got Derek. He's the co-host of the Untitled Mariners Podcast.
What is up, listeners of the Coach's Sons Podcast? My name is Derek, and I am a co-host on the brand new Untitled Mariners Podcast. Yes, that is the name. No, I will not be apologizing for that. So, Chris asked me to send in some of my Mariners takes and predictions for this upcoming season. Here we go. So on the pitching side, I could see Wu or Hancock getting dealt by the deadline. Personally, I'd prefer to trade Miller instead of Wu, but so it goes. Out of the bullpen, this year is the Anton Chigurh coin toss. This season's bullpen, man. We either stand to have the best bullpen in the MLB or no country for bullpen, because one or more of those guys could throw their arm clean off. Go ahead and call it. Let's see. I had to write all this down in my car, man. I'm on lunch at work. My super cool normal guy job. All right, position players. Is Brian Anderson making this goddamn opening day lineup? Is Michael Chavis the Boba that we have at home? Probably not. But hope is all we have. So, let's count on that. Circle back to it when Michael Chavis is undoubtedly unrestricted free agent. Predictions aside, if the Mariners can't cash in on bases loaded, no outs this season, I'm going to need a new liver. So go ahead and sign up to be an organ donor today. One more page. Look at that. That's all I've got time for today. Thanks for listening, and you know what? Get forked.
Wait, get forked?
It's a Trident thing.
Oh, okay. My bad.
The whole Trident.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a Mariners.
It's a Mariners thing.
Call to action.
I was a little confused. Yeah. Makes sense. I want to say something real quick. All you Mariners fans are the same. Like your attitude about it. Your depression.
So we thought,
you want to be happy, but you can't let yourself be happy.
I'm willing to bet that you thought you were going to get, we talk about our echo chamber, and you thought you were going to get this happy-go-lucky, hey, it's all sunshine and rainbows, here we go. And guess what? You didn't.
I got
baby.
you.
You got me reincarnated you got West Coast Chris, baby. And it's spot on.
So funny. I love
it. Right?
It.
Like everything he said is spot on. And what I couldn't stop laughing. He's like, is Brian Anderson really going to make this goddamn team? And honestly, I really hope not. Like, if I have to root for that guy to be like a producer, like if that guy cracks lineups every 3 days, it's not going to be fun. But let me go a little bit more in depth. But I like the review, right? It's that's where we stand all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's echoed some of the things you've said about your bullpen is phenomenal, or it could not be because someone throws his arm off. I mean, so there's a lot of things that you've echoed before that he definitely validated.
So positives. We went and signed Mitch Garver.
Yep.
He's our DH full time. He might catch, I don't know. Jorge Polanco is our second baseman. If he turns into Colt Wong 2.0, I might have to find the nearest bridge.
You guys, what's with Mariners fans and talking about like medical problems?
It's just not. We've been through it, man.
Yeah.
And like it's exciting. And you talk yourself into this guy or whomever, and you feel like you're his only supporter, and then slowly it just eats at you where you can't do it anymore, and you have to let go. But you're the last one holding on. It's very hard to do. It's hard to be on that. We got Luke Raley. Welcome back, Mitch. Mitch Haniger is back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I expect the world again. I expect the world.
Yeah.
I expect 30 plus home run Mitch Haniger. I'm not going to get him. We got Gregory Santos from the White Sox, and Luis Urias is our other third baseman.
Boy.
So I guess between him and Brian Anderson, I really don't know. I'd rather have
see what
neither.
happens.
Our pitching staff's set, right? We're in such a good spot. He just named 3 pitchers we could just trade at will to go.
Who would you like to trade away? Because he mentioned Wu or what was the other one? Miller?
So Emerson Hancock is right now the one without a spot.
Yeah.
Right. He's our 6, if you will. Brian Wu, Bryce Miller are our 4 or 5. Pick and choose how you want to put them.
Who would you rather trade away?
Neither.
Okay.
If I had to choose, probably Hancock, and I don't like it. So honestly, I was actually in Seattle for Hancock's first major league start.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then I think he pitched great, and then he got hurt shortly after, maybe his next start.
Yeah, trading away Hancock doesn't make sense though because he's a young arm.
But so is Wu and Miller. So are Wu and Miller.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the idea is there's so many of them that you trade one of them and try and fix the lineup a little more.
It seems like you're starting. I mean, you have a bunch of young, good
They're
starters.
rumored in every situation.
Yeah.
It's like, do we trade Miller or Wu? Do we trade Miller or Wu? And I don't want to because they're fun. They get along very well. Like they're always together doing stuff. But who knows? I don't want to be the one that trades one of them away and it doesn't happen. I want them to be my friend. Hopefully they come on this podcast at some point. I want to be friends with all of you.
I got you.
Bullpen, super quick. That Brash injury is looming large.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. He's throwing again. Great. Talk to me in April if he's actually throwing for us, and I can get through a week of normal work and innings and all of that. That's my recap to not.
Okay.
You're gonna hear enough about the Mariners throughout the season from me.
Yeah, you're right. So where do you have them finishing?
You don't want my number. You tell me yours.
Okay, I have them finishing third.
Third?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Behind who?
Behind the Astros and the Rangers. Chris, where do you have them finishing?
They're first, bud.
Jesus Christ.
We're coming. We are coming.
You delusional, beautiful motherfucker.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
no way they win that division.
There is.
No, absolutely not.
We're coming, bud.
Okay.
So-
So look, I have some positives to say about the Mariners. Okay, so I will
Give it to me.
I'll give it to you, but when we get further into
Okay.
what's next, but they're not winning that division. They're just not.
Okay, so they win the division. They're going over 87 and a
I
half.
have them
wins.
under 87 and a half,
Sure.
which is the line. I have them
That's
under.
reasonable.
Okay. Who's your breakout?
It's going to be Ty France. And I don't know why you're laughing.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
He hasn't been good.
Right.
And he's frustrating.
Yes. That's why I laughed. I was like, Ty France. Wow, that's a name.
But he went to the J.P. Crawford School of Hard Knocks at Driveline.
Okay.
And once JP came back from Driveline, he was a changed man. JP's our shortstop forever. I'll die for that man.
Yeah, I got you.
If Ty France does anything like that, I too would die for that man. But he's got a lot to prove because Tyler Locklear is a minor league first baseman coming through the ranks really fast. And if he doesn't pan out, he gives us kind of that lackluster effort he has been. That's where Wu or Miller or Hancock get sent out, and we go find somebody. We're also I'm putting them in the sweepstakes for Pete Alonso, but we'll see how that works.
Okay, I got you. All right, so this is my breakout guy, and calling him a breakout's ridiculous, but I think you're gonna have a monster season from your boy, Julio Rodriguez.
Julio.
This is my thought behind that. You have young pitching. You could have a stellar bullpen. You could have really solid, 1 through 5 starters, depending on how the young guys pan out. But I still think you lack bats. You're not wrong. You've gotten some, but I think Julio is going to have to carry this team. Now I'm going to carry that into the player prop. My player prop is that Julio has an MVP season.
What are the odds on that?
Plus 1,000. Yeah.
Julio MVP.
I think Julio's MVP. I think
I had them winning the division. I didn't even have the
No. So I think that they literally I don't know if they make the playoffs. They get close enough, and the only reason they're that close is because Julio plays his dick off, and I have him. That's my player prop. I think that Julio is in the MVP conversation. I think he wins it.
To brag about my boy for a minute before I get into mine, he had a down, quote unquote, down year.
Yeah,
and hit 32 home runs, had 37 stolen bases. Yep. It's a little better than pedestrian, but at .818 OPS. Mm-hmm. So that pick what you want on it.
I don't think he's going to get Acuna level. No offense.
No.
But he could get 35-35.
You got to battle with the Marine layer out there, man.
Yeah, so I think that
everybody could hit home runs in Atlanta.
He's 30-30 for sure, Lock, and I think I see what you're doing, and I think he could get. It's not New York where they have like a peewee.
Well, that's different.
That peewee fence on the left field. Jesus, I think he hits 30-35. He steals 40+. I mean. He could be a 30-35 type of player, and that has you in the conversation for MVP. So he's my dark horse MVP right there. That's my player prop. So what's your player prop, Chris?
My player prop. So you love steals and you hate pitching in this regard. I don't know why, but it's not wins. But we're going with La Piedra, my ace, Luis Castillo.
Oh, okay.
Over 199.5 strikeouts.
Shoo, 200 Ks. I hear you. Okay. I mean, he's a swing and miss guy though.
He gets me the starts. He starts 30 to whatever it is. 32 games. I get my number. I have no concerns.
I hear you. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. If he plays,
what did he have last year? I'm looking at. I don't know why I didn't write it down. He had 219 last year.
Oh, okay. And he played 30 games or something like that last year, probably.
33.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like it. Okay. Awesome.
That's my ace.
Awesome.
That's my guy.
Take it.
And we are going to move from your division-winning Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
The Oakland Athletics.
All right. So, Oakland Athletics, guys, you know how much we love this team. And by team, I mean the fans. Fuck the team, fuck the owners. But we're very excited to actually get someone from the A's from the 68.
We've got Todd. His handle is at TMSARAN. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it. Todd, Oakland Athletics fan, Oakland 68 member.
Let's go.
So one thing I would say about this season to look out for is I think you're going to see more scoring from the A's fans than you're going to see from the actual team on the field. I would predict another season of, what do we call it, development, when we'll have a lot of young players who have very, very low salaries making up a majority of the team roster, in addition to a very, very, very low attendance per game number. Don't be surprised if the story of the season is not about the team on the field, not about the relocation, but what the fans are doing to make as much noise as possible about the effort to relocate a team that's been in this community for 55 years. We have just as robust of a schedule as the team does playing the schedule. So look for a lot more activities similar to Fans Fest, similar to the opening day boycott. Cavill and Fisher are deplorable human beings who have no shame, and we intend to make that front row and center all season long.
So again, I want you guys to know, we did not listen to any of these before that. We're listening live with you, and this is our actual reaction.
Chris and I are sitting here pumping our fists the whole time.
That was awesome. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't even add to that. He is the treasurer for the Oakland 68s. Mm-hmm. He's highly involved with, helping out with the opening day boycott that we talked about. He was involved with the Fans Fest 2024 that the ownership tried to squash. And, he asked me, or us, I guess, saying, what are you looking for? And I was like, be an A's fan.
Yeah.
What do the floor is yours.
This is what we wanted.
And that's what they're feeling.
Yeah. I mean,
they've been left behind. They don't even care about the team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say. My words got misconstrued.
They love the team. They don't care about
the results at this point because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. Like winning a game doesn't matter in this regard. It's about trying to stick it to Fisher and that clown show Caval. He doesn't deserve his name to be pronounced correctly.
Bitch. That's who that is.
I hate every single one of the leadership of that organization. They just flubbed this whole Vegas release thing.
Did you see the rendering? Man, fuck all that. All right, listen. So, 55 years being in a community, he pointed that out. He talked about everything they plan on doing. And our goal is to get them back on and talk about those things because we want to give them a platform. Not that we have a big one, but it's just that storyline. And he said it, it's like you're probably gonna hear more about that. And he's right because that matters so much more. And I can't wait to hear about more of that because it's just I don't even know what it's like to be in that headspace. So let's just quickly run through this. We both think the A's are going to finish last. I think we both took the over because the over set at 56.5, which that's a lot of losses and it's tough.
They only had 50 wins last year, though.
I know, but it's just hard for me to do under on 56.5.
They did add Alex Wood and Ross Stripling. I know that's like, oh my God, really?
Yeah,
but those
something.
are guys. JP Sears will be decent.
Yeah.
They've got some young guy, some guys coming up through the rotation.
Coming through like Braves connection, Shane Langeliers. He's actually my breakout. He's the catcher over there. He was a huge prospect for us. And I think he is, there's not a lot to choose from, but I think he'll be their breakout player. Who do you have?
I may miss the mark here because I guess I technically don't even know if he's going to make the opening day roster due to these whack jobs. But I picked Darrell Hernaiz.
Right.
He came from the Orioles. And just a prospect.
If he makes the opening roster, he could do something.
Yeah, he's produced at every level of the minor leagues up to this point. He could be a solid player. Again, on any normal team, normal bad team, I guess, he should be the opening day shortstop.
Yeah.
Zach Geloff's fun to watch too. Like that's exciting stuff.
Right.
He's a really good player. It's almost like a lesser version of Jed Lowry, if you remember.
That's
Jed
fair.
Lowry.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah,
Geloff's just going to be good, and then eventually he'll just end up somewhere on the East Coast and be like, oh, okay. Like, because I think Lowry ended up on the Mets or something.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, guess what my player prop is?
What is it?
Just guess.
Your player prop.
Yeah. We talked about this a lot. What do I love?
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's stolen bases, baby. Yeah. He's definitely
so
over
many.
49.5.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that number. I was like, slam, yes. And if I ever am able to place that bet, I will throw so much money at it. He's absolutely stealing more than 50 bases. That was an easy one for me, and I had to make sure I had a stolen base.
I guess you're only he better play. Like if he doesn't play, then we've got an issue.
I guess if he doesn't play, well, he's going to play.
He hit 67 last year.
Exactly. There's no way he doesn't have less than 50.
Why they know something we don't know, but he should be playing as long as he gets on. You just keep running, bud.
Just keep running. I mean, he doesn't even have to start. He just has to like come and pinch run. He's taking
that's
3
fine.
bases.
Once a game, right?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fine.
Yeah. All right, what you got?
So this guy's been pretty active on social media lately, and I think it's actually pretty funny. But I took Brent Rooker over 24.5.
Okay.
And he hit
Home
30.
runs. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
He hit 30 last year. Can he repeat it? Maybe. He's a good hitter.
It's just as the team
but
get taken care of.
So I think the bigger reason why I did that was there was some stuff circulating like, what do you do? Or, how do you see this pitch or something? He's like, honestly, I don't. I just close my eyes and swing as hard as I can.
Nice.
And, he literally had to be like, I was joking. Like, people think I'm serious. And, it was after you just bash something. And you're like, all right, like, I'm in. Give me Brent Rooker. Good guy. I hope he does it.
Yeah.
Not for, and then I hope he gets to go to greener pastures. I hope they send their.
It's really tough, right? I want to cheer for the players.
Correct.
And I want to cheer for the fans. But I also don't want it to go well because I hope they sell.
So 57 wins is still over 100 losses.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That gives us our green light for that one.
Mm-hmm.
That gives... It doesn't give A's fans anything, but it gets us one bet. I'm sorry. I thought... Well, I didn't think. I was ready to just be like, you know what? I support the players, and that's why I took the over. That's the only reason I did it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The only A's games I'm probably going to watch this year is going to be when they play Seattle.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, if there's not much going on, I might tune into a Brent Rooker AB here or there.
Yeah.
See if he's going to go deep. Because that's what's going to be cool about, trying to track these all year is, I told you I like to kind of tune into games and tune out of games just here and there, just depending on who's hitting. So it's like, oh, I got this guy for a season. Like now I'm watching Brent Rook, or now I'm watching John Gray try to carve up somebody, which, all he needs to do is be ahead after the 5th inning and go take a seat.
There you go. All right. Last one, Chris, the beloved Astros.
The beloved Astros. I warned the individual who had submitted to us that one of us, I didn't say it was me, but she'll know now, that one of us is a Mariners fan. So I was like, tread lightly. They're legit. We're gonna see what she has to say here. And we've got Cami. She's Astros teacher on Twitter, and she's gonna give us our Astros review.
You're gonna love every second of this, Chris.
So we'll see what happens.
Hey y'all, this is Cami. On Twitter, I go by Astros teacher. So some of the things to look forward to this season, in my opinion, with the Astros, I'm really excited about our bullpen this year. I think we are going to probably be the best in the whole league. We have Ryan Abreu, we have Ryan Presley, and we just secured Josh Hader, and he is going to be incredible to close us out. So look for that. And then obviously we also have our new catcher, Yanir Diaz, who is young. This will be his sophomore year, but he is going to be amazing. He had something like 22 home runs last season, and he was not our starting catcher. He didn't even play half the game. So I think he's going to be incredible, offensively and defensively. So look for him. And I'm hoping our bats can stay hot. Especially I'm hoping we can improve playing at home this season. We need to really do better than we did last season. I'm really hoping that Pena can do better and fix some of his mechanics. Watching him in spring training, it looked like he was doing a little better. He almost has a little bit of a Jordan type of look when he's batting now. So hopefully he will do a little better this season with his batting. And I'm hoping our starting pitchers can go pretty deep through at least the 6th inning to not wear out our bullpen. So we do have a couple of injuries already starting. We have JB that's on the IL list. Hopefully that's just for a couple of weeks, and hopefully Fromber can fix some of the issues he was having last season. And Javi looked really good during spring training so far. And JP, hopefully he can do well. And I think we're going to do pretty well. I'm predicting that we'll take our division and that we will do well and we'll go to the playoffs. And I'm predicting we are going to get through the Rangers. The Rangers are not going to take it this year. It is going to be the Astros. So again, this is Cami, otherwise known as Astros teacher. Thanks for listening.
Man, what it must be like to be an Astros fan and have all of that riches. Oh wait, I'm a Braves fan. I get it.
I don't appreciate that. And you know what? You're worried about the Rangers so much, and you're not worried about my Mariners.
Because she doesn't have to
they're
be.
They're going to come. They're coming. All right? No. Cami, thank you for sending
Absolutely,
that in.
Yeah, no,
very... Honestly, great detail in the breakdown still.
I forget how nasty the bullpen is.
Yeah, that's like, remember the Royals when they used to win, when they rattled off some World Series?
Right.
And you're
one,
like,
but that's fine.
They won 2.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
No. They won 1. Anyways, keep going.
Oh, wow. Did I just say the Royals?
You said Royals. Yeah,
we'll
you said Royals too. Anyways.
All right, anyway. So you got Abreu, you got Presley, and then you're going to finish with Hader. I don't know the order they're going to do Abreu, Presley. But the minute she said, she's like, we need about 6 out of our starters. And you're like, not really.
No,
But
yeah.
it's like, once they get to that 3-headed, we're just going to call him a 3-headed monster. If those guys stay healthy, like, you're in trouble, man.
If you're not up on the
Like,
Astros,
you're down 2 runs. You're down 2 runs in the 7th inning. You're like,
Game
yo,
over. Yeah.
this isn't going to be an easy thing to do.
I forget how nasty it is. I mean, she's not wrong too. The Astros bats are, when they're on fire, you can't beat them. You just can't. But there was a lot of lulls last year, and
They're pretty top heavy in terms of lineup.
Agreed.
You get into a guy like a Chas McCormick towards the bottom, and you're
Right.
like, oh, he's a good player, but then you're not overly scared about him, I suppose.
They're one of those teams that they're top heavy, and if the top of that lineup is really on their game, it's so they're going to score so many runs just 1 through 5. It doesn't matter who's the rest of the lineup, because those first 5 guys are just going to destroy you. But if that's not the case, then they can definitely have some problems. But again, like she said, you get to that bullpen, it's lights out. It's lights out. So I have them finishing first.
I don't. I had them second, but I had them first, and I was like, I can't do it. So I made the switch. It's like, I can't do it.
I mean,
but my
that's
note,
that's the
my
best
note says,
fan move I've ever seen you make, Chris.
but
So good on you.
But this is literally what my note says. So they're the team to beat in the West until they aren't. Right? Like, yeah, the
1000%.
Rangers won the World Series. That's fine. But they didn't win the division.
Yeah.
But there was a point where, like, Seattle was in first place of that division. It was tight. It was within a few games. And you're like, okay, time to step on the Astros' throat, get them the hell out of here. And then all of a sudden, they just grind it out. They grind it out, right? You got Altuve. You've got that guy haunts my nightmares. That guy's a maniac.
Yeah.
Jordan Alvarez.
Who only played like 114 games, but
he's
still
phenomenal.
Led
right?
AL and
Kyle
everything.
Tucker might be like the most underrated player in Major League Baseball. Like, and Bregman is going to be on a contract year. Another guy who keeps getting overlooked. And like, we just named their top 5, right? Their top 4. Jose Abreu really, really, really struggled at the beginning of last year. He doesn't do that this year, and all of a sudden they're neutral. Like, they're just always there. They're always going to linger around. And yeah, some rotation health is an issue, missing Verlander, but he's going to pull I'll see you in July, and he's Astros Verlander, and that's a guy on another planet.
Exactly.
Framber's fine. He's an ace. If Christian Javier turns it on, in good shape. She mentioned JP France. So if he gets a rotation spot, again, he's your 5th starter, fine.
Yeah.
I'll roll with it. So you have them first. I have them second, just because of fandom, of course. What do you got over under wins?
92.5. I have them under, because I think they're around 90. But I think that division's going to be close, because the Rangers are good, the Mariners are good. I think y'all are going to beat each other up. I think it's going to take 90 to win the division, but
That's
I don't
fair.
think any of you guys make it to 95.
So
I have the under on that.
So logic would say
You do too.
I would say the under, but I didn't, and that probably proves that I had them first at some point.
Yeah.
So I went over 92.5,
God,
which
how
just
many
means
games do you think the Mariners are going to win?
95.
Okay.
I don't know. No,
Good for
I
you,
made
man.
that up.
I mean, that's
but
fine, yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a reason.
They have to. If you think the Astros are going to win 93
honestly,
games, they have to win 95.
Honestly, I'd rather lose I'll lose a bet every time if my team wins.
No, I'm
I'll
with you.
donate
Oh,
money
1000%.
every time
Yeah,
for my team to win.
Yeah.
So that's our over under. And who's your breakout slasher? Let me ask you this: have all your guys been breakout?
They have so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, they have so far.
I've been trying to stay breakout. And the other thing I do, and you'll notice this about me as you listen along to the rest of the episodes, I hate taking
You hate taking unders, yeah.
There's no fun in that. That's wet blanket mentality. Like you want to just
I
root
think
for nothing to happen.
To be quite honest, I think there's only so far, 2 in the AL that I took the regression on, and we'll talk about those in those episodes.
Okay.
But it doesn't happen in this division, and I think this is the only one we agree on, because I took Mini Verlander, Hunter Brown.
Oh, all right. You cheated. You saw mine.
No, I
Mine was
didn't.
done
I
first.
didn't. Yeah, no, I
You don't even know who Hunter Brown is.
Hey, look, Mini Verlander. Have you seen their
Mini Verlander? Where'd you pull that out of?
Have you? So I was going through Astro TikTok or whatever. I think maybe it was Instagram. But there's a side by side of their windups. It's exactly the same. Like he looks just like Verlander.
Then I have to
And
take him off because I don't like Verlander.
You love Verlander. Don't act like.
No,
Oh, just so the audience is let in on this joke. I love Verlander in ways that people don't understand, and I get made fun ton of it for. So I think he's all-time great.
It's
Anyways.
because we're going way off the rails here. It's because he picks him over Scherzer and Kershaw.
Correct.
But I'll
he's better than
leave
both.
that for your debate.
He's better than both.
We'll debate that another time.
Okay, sounds good. Anyways, yeah, go
so
ahead.
Hunter Brown, he's going to be their, I guess, forced into their 3 probably.
Yes.
And he was just mediocre last year, right? Like he started games.
Mm-hmm.
He was fine. But, I mean, you're calling him mini Verlander. That's a lot. However, I do expect him to kind of break out and kind of find his spot. You know, he doesn't really have to fight for rotate. He's in. I think there's a lot of mental stability to say, like, hey, this is your rotation spot. You don't have to look over your shoulder every day to see if somebody else is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he's just going to be able to start from square one, you know, be confident, take the ball every 5th day, and just get into a zone.
So here's the deal: the guy has the stuff, right? His pitches are electric.
A lot of strikeouts.
A lot. So he had a K per 9 at 10.3, right? That's insane. Now his ERA was over 5.
It was 5.
It was not good.
But I was saying, not a great
But he
year
has
overall.
electric stuff, and if he can. This season really hone in on that ability to keep the ball down and away from the barrel. Because I mean, his curveball's got like 5 inches of drop. His fastball's like mid to high 90s. Like he's got the stuff. So I think that if he can take that next step, he will be a huge win for the Astros. And it's going to make that team even scarier.
All right,
than
if
they
we
already
find an
are.
over-under strikeouts, we're taking it. But
No,
I don't think there is one.
I don't think there is. There should be at some point, but right now there's
Yeah, there
not.
isn't.
But yeah, obviously we both agree with that. So.
Speaking of props, what you got?
All right, so my prop, and this is my under. I took an
Go
under
ahead.
here, and here's the deal. I'm going to lose this one. Okay, I have Yordan Alvarez under 109.5 RBIs.
It's a lot of RBIs.
It's a lot of RBIs, but he had more than that or around that with less. Like he didn't play most of the year. Oh, he played a lot of the year, but he missed like 50 games.
He had 97.
Yeah, so he was okay. Yeah, he was close to it, but still,
But
that's a
only
bunch.
114,
That's a bunch of RBIs, and I think as a whole, Yordan takes a step back
That's a
this year.
lot. He's not going to take a step back. He's 27 years old, but
When he played, he was on fire. There's no way he does that.
144 games, only 104.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it because he'll ruin everything.
No,
that
I
have.
agree.
He'll destroy me.
If you took it, he would
Oh,
have
that's
200
over.
RBIs.
I can't. For your sake, I will not join you on that
Okay,
play.
but that's where so that's my first under, Chris. So
You should like this one a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This little outlier prop. I took Kyle Tucker
Okay.
to have a 30-30 season.
go 30-30. Let's
at
go.
plus
Stolen bases matter.
400. So, logic.
I
there.
guess he steals more bases than I think he does.
So
like you said, he's underrated.
He
I
went
didn't even think about
29 and 30 last year. 29 bombs, 30 steals. His home run over-under is set at 31.5.
Okay.
So technically, I could still hit. I wouldn't bet over that because I was like, you know what? I'll probably get screwed there.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're good. We're just gonna have to watch Kyle. Like,
Yeah, I like that
Instead
bet.
of tuning in to Kyle Tucker at bats, I'm gonna get notification for Kyle Tucker's on first base. Let's check it out. Right? I love that play. I think there's
That's fun.
It's a running joke, but value at plus 400.
Yeah.
He's gonna. I'm betting it. He's going to end up at 26 steals, and that'll be
28 home runs or
No,
something,
no,
yeah.
he'll get the home runs. He'll
he
get
get
one
the
of them.
home run? Okay.
He'll get one of them. But I really like that play. Again, I think Kyle Tucker's wildly underrated.
Yeah.
I think 30 for 30 is attainable for him. That's kind
Nice.
of a big deal.
It is a very big deal, yeah.
He's definitely not 40-40, but that would be crazy.
No, that would be ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see that again. Other than I think Julio could push. For
Yeah, we
that,
got Julio
so.
MVP. That's the biggest bet of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's plus 1,000.
It is. And
That's the
I think
biggest play.
he has to do the 40-40 or at least, like I said, the 35-35.
He's going to have to do something crazy.
But okay, well, hey, Chris, that is the AL West.
Hey, we done did it. We've got 5 more left. So hopefully you keep coming back. This is our first one. Let us know what you think. Sound off. We're going to put some graphics out the following day. So we need you to listen on Monday. You'll see all our graphics. Share them. Comment about them. Tell us what you think. Tell us we're idiots. Whatever you want. You come at us. We're fair game. We're fair game. Not the people who send in clips. You cannot come at them.
Yeah.
Unless they come at you first.
Yeah,
And then
equal
it's-
opportunity at that point.
Yes.
But again, thank you to everyone that submitted. Thank you so much for listening. This has been so much fun. We will join you again for the AL Central. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
This is the Coach's Sons Podcast.